only been here a few minutes. I'm just setting up. This is another nighttime video, so I do apologise for all the lack of light and everything. There's quite a bit of light behind me. There's a family man down there with his 2 kids, I believe, and a dog. Just night fishing, which is fantastic. How nice is that? And there's the scene behind me and around. Good. Now back to the actual bait I'm going to be using tonight. I've got these razor clams, salted razor clams. I've got crab, a little bit of crab there, and I've got squid as well in there. So it's just got to thaw out a little bit more. But well, it would have helped if I had a bit of rag or towel or something like that, because oh, hang on, I've got my hat. I could use that hat. So after you put the bait on, it'd be nice to wash your hands a little bit. Here's the bait that I've used. I've got a rolling weight here and a little bit of crab on it. Pulley panel rig. Okay, 2 hooks on it. Top one being a circle hook, and I think the bottom one's like a 1/0 or something like that. It's not the biggest of hooks, but very, very calm night tonight. Hardly any wind, so I'm going to put that one out. The rod with razor fish on it hasn't done anything yet. That one up there hasn't done anything, but it's only been out about 8 minutes. So I've got that weight down there that's swinging around. That's a rolling lead, and I've put that on the left hand side because I happen to know that down here the tide runs from right to left, so hopefully it shouldn't get snagged up with anybody else's line. Well, that's the theory behind it. Okay, let's carry on. So both lines are out. Left hand side got the crab on it. Right hand side it's got 1 up, 1 down, and 2 razor clams on each of those hooks. And looks at it. Very, very slight movement, hardly anything. But now we just sit back, relax, and watch those rods, see whether they move at all. Right, happy days. Let's have a look behind, see what the setup is down here. Well, got the bucket with the knives and the scissors in. Got this bit of like polystyrene type of stuff. It's not polystyrene, it's like a packing type of stuff with the bait elastic there. Some more rigs, bigger hooks on these, because I might put out a bigger chunk of mackerel, or a big chunk of mackerel tipped up with a little bit of squid, or I might put out a crab, which I'll seriously consider if anything takes the bait. If it likes crab, I'll put out crab. Razor clams, I'll put out razor clams. And if the water is a bit murky in a moment, I'm going to put out a little bit of mackerel, get some scent in the water. First sign of a fish. The left hand rod with the mackerel on it, that started dipping just now. Something, had a look at it, tasted it. There you go, look at that. I don't know, try and get a better angle so you can see if that rod moves. But something definitely likes that. And there's very, very little wind tonight. I think it said it might get up to 12 miles an hour. But oh, look, something's liking it. Oh, happy days. Right, I'd love to be able to show you a fish. I've lost my little tripod, which I put my phone on, so I must have a better look around. It'd be nice to set it up. Alright, I'll do my best to video it if I can. Well, a little bit more excitement going on now, as you can tell from my voice. The right hand rod started taking bites then, and I'd love to see that one. I'd love to catch a fish on that, because that is a salted razor clam. So yeah, there's something. At least the fish are out there. All we got to do now is get them on those, get them to like that bait, and to yeah, get hooked up. Well, that's promising, very, very promising. Because to be honest, this is the first cast for both of these rods, and they've only been out like, well, not very long at all, 10 minutes. There you go, look at that, something's biting on that. Come on, a little bit more. I usually wait for 3 good solid knocks, and then maybe I'll grab hold of the rod and just, when I feel it bite again, I'll just pull the rod back with the line taut and then keep reeling, hoping to feel the weight of the fish on the end of the rod. And that's what makes it so addictive, catching the fish. Well, that's what it was. Little pouting. You know, they're out there and they like the crab. So I've got another crab bait all waiting to go on there. I'm going to change the rig and put that one on instead. Oh well, beautiful colours though. He's only very small, but he liked that crab. Well, I obviously caught that little pouting on that was on the crab bait, which I was well pleased about. But the other line with the razor fish on it, when I brought that one in, that one up there, when I brought that one in, all the razor fish had been pulled off that line and eaten. Nothing had touched the hook, which would have been better if it had. But the razorfish had gone. I know what you're thinking, why don't you use razorfish again? And the reason why, I will use razorfish, I've got lots of it, but the reason why is I've actually got little strips of mackerel that I'm going to use. So I've put that out with a little bit of mackerel. Now most things like mackerel, so I'm going to cut that up a little bit better. There it is. I'm going to cut that into strips and just use strips of mackerel, and one piece I'll use as a bigger bait and wrap it with the squid that I've got in the box. Yeah, and then bind that all up and we'll try that. It's an experiment when you first turn up at the beach, because you never know what anything's going to eat. But most things like mackerel, as I say, most things like squid, and lots and lots and lots of things like that crab. So I'm hoping that one pouting won't be the only fish of the night. Well, that rod tip that I'm lighting up now with the bell on, and it's got a little red light which I'm using up a little bit, that started jumping around just now. So that's the one that has got the mackerel on it. So something is eating the mackerel. Now that's got that same rig on it, the 1 up 2 down. No, sorry, 1 up 1 down. So I'm not too sure whether it's a crab having a go at it, or even clever pouting that are just pecking away at it. Definitely know it's worth keeping an eye on. Now I know I say I like dogfish, but I like the odd 1 or 2 dogfish, but I don't want to catch dogfish all the time. But look how pale this one is. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to get that hook out of his little mouth and get him back to the sea. That's funny, isn't it? Right, the tide is a long way out now, so I'm going to put this one back, put him back in the water, and away he will go. Got to be in fairly deep water these, so I've got to throw him. He won't mind. He's been used to the rough seas. He won't mind about being thrown out. He'd be glad to get back in the water. So bye, my darling. Right, so he does like me because he wants to come back. So they do need to go out into deep water. And I need to learn to run faster. Well, as those fish, well, the dogfish then, and the pouting before him, as they were so pleased to see me, I treated them. Oh, look, it's going again. Oh, dear me, did you see that? Yeah. Well, I did. It's changed over lights, and then the rod went. Either way, I treated that right-hand rod that's just moved then with a little red light on it. I don't know whether you can see that. But I've treated the fish there to a trio of fish supper. It's got mackerel, it's got squid, it's got crab. No, I know it's not a fish, but right. Well, I've done that, so you know, and something liked it. We liked one part of it. Oh dear me. Oh, the other one's moving a little bit now. Well, that trio of fish worked, because here we have a whiting. So that's three species on 3 different baits. Right, I'm going to get them off of there and to get them back to the water. Well, I've just done one of the worst casts I've ever done, but that's because the line got snagged up with the actual little glow stick on the end of the rod, so that wasn't very good. But the tide's coming in now, so I'm not so worried about that. It's a good bait on it, don't get me wrong, it is actually a very, very good bait. It's got all the mackerel with all the meat on the outside, and I put it in there and something was really interested and hitting it. And this rod closest to me, which I'll get the light on there, okay, that rig, oh, I had some really good baits on it. That was the one up, one down rig. Looks something like in that other bit there, isn't it? One up, one down rig. The line touched together. I couldn't free it up, so I thought, oh, you know what, there is a hook there. And anyway, cut a long story short, by the time I threw, and I mean threw the hook out, I didn't cast it out, I threw the hook with the weight and all the rest of it, it had turned itself into a wishbone rig. So something actually, so it has got 2 hooks on it, but albeit as a wishbone rig, and something went for it just now. So I'm going to make up another, I'm going to get another rig ready and get it in a moment. I'll leave it out there for a bit because the bait's good on it, but I'll get it in and see what I can do. And that's what Budleigh Salterton looks like at night. Every now and again something comes down and bites at this line, bites at the bait, which is a squid this time on there, wrapped up, and something likes it. But I tried to pull it in just now and it felt like the weight was really gripped in there, so I'm not too sure what's going on. But whatever fish is grabbing hold of it is capable of lifting up the weight as well, so that might be a little bit better. And on the other line I put a better rig on there, brand new rig, and I'll sort the other rig out when I get home. Brand new rig with a big lump of crab on there, so we'll see what happens there. Yeah, look at this, something's interested in this. I mean, it's possible it's got a fish on it, only a small fish on it, but something keeps on nibbling away at it, and that's a really, really good bait on there. Could have a bit of a hoo-ha going on here, because there you can see you've got something attacking that one there, and there and there. We'll wait for it to go for the third one, and then I'll try and get it in. And just now this other rod was being hit as well, so it's only whiting. I'm sure it's only whiting, but they're quite good fish to catch. They put up quite a fight, and you get some nice sized whiting. So yeah, I thought I was going to have 2 rods going off at the same time. Going to keep an eye on it. Well, looks like we got ourselves another little pouting. They are lovely colours and they're nice little fish, but I'm after something bigger. So I'm going to put on a bit more bait on that line.